In this demonstration, we're going to look at monitoring the database availability group and the database health after we've created our DAG. So in an early demonstration, we created a database availability group, and now we just want to ensure that everything is working correctly. So what we're going to start with is we have the Mailbox database highlighted within the Exchange Admin Center. What we can see is database copies. We have an active copy which is currently mounted, and we also have a passive copy, but this passive copy is indeed healthy. Now we can get some additional information relating to this database copy by clicking on the view details, but we can also do that on the active copy as well. So let's start with the active copy. So as we can see, it's mounted. We're not waiting for anything to be copied. So everything's working fine. This has an activation preference number of 1. So we have a thing called the primary active manager, and the primary active manager will have a look at the activation preference number to decide which database to bring online in the case of a failure. So we'll just close this down. Then what we've also got exactly the same thing down here. So we have exactly the same information on the secondary, but what we can see on the passive copy, we can see it's healthy. We can see when it last replicated, and what we can also see as well is the active preference number. And what we have up here in the case of the actual state of the database, so up at the top here, where we are currently sitting at healthy. Now this can be healthy, it can be initializing, it can be failed, it can be mounted, it can be dismounted, it could be disconnected, suspended and failed, suspend, resynchronizing or seeding. So is what we can also see within the actual status of the database. We can also get information relating to the database replication through the Microsoft Exchange Management Shell. So what we'll do is we'll just move over to the Management Shell. So what we'll do in the shell here is we'll just run a couple of commandlets just so we can see exactly what's happening with the Mailbox database. So the first one we're going to run is we're going to run Tests-Replication Health. Now I'm expecting to be some fails in here, and we'll explain why when we see any of the fails pop up. So it's just going through, it's just testing everything. So if we have a look, we do have some fails. Like we said, we were expecting some of those. Now the reason why we get these fails is if we just come back to the admin center. In the admin center, I've got 3 databases, and only one of the databases is actually being protected by a DAG. So the other ones that have failed, they're the ones that are not being protected by a DAG. So we're happy with that. We know why we're getting those failures. So another thing we can do as well is we can have a look at the Mailbox database copy status. And we can do that by running the get-mailbox database copy status. And that'll return back some information for us. So as we can see Mailbox database 1 mounted, so that's brilliant. So we can see currently no queue length. So we can see that nothing's actually being copied as part of this replication. So what we'll do at this point here, we'll just clear this off. So another thing we have is we also have some scripts that are being written by Microsoft in order for us to check information relating to our databases as well. And one of the scripts we have is the check database redundancy script. So what we'll do is we'll just move into the folder and then we'll run that script just so we can see exactly what it does. So we've moved into the program files, Microsoft Exchange Server version 15 scripts folder, and what we're going to do at this point here is we're going to run the check database redundancy.ps1, and we're going to do that against -mailbox database name mailbox database 1. And that returns back, as we can see here. We can see information relating to mailbox database 1. So current redundancy count 2 means we've got 2 copies of the database. And that's the end of this demonstration of monitoring database availability group replication. Thank you.